Hey everyone, welcome back to our Hoosier Ho channel. Today is July the 1st and I wanted to purposely do a video today because one of our last videos was on June 1st and that was the date that we spread out our grass hay. So I wanted to show you how it's working so far. But hey, it's out here, we're early in the morning, out here before the sun gets up too hot. As you can see, we are watering. We're in the Midwest. It's been extremely hot. We have not had rain for, I know, 2 weeks. I heard the weather guy say yesterday. So we've used our grass hay to help us keep our moisture in our garden, but we are obviously having to water some. I mean, if you've had no water for weeks, you got to do something. So right now we've got our sprinkler going in certain areas of it, just because with the corn and everything getting so tall, dragging the hose through all this gets to be a little tricky. So oftentimes we'll just sit a sprinkler out here for an hour or two and just let it go. So it's working for us. Plus it looks nice and pretty today. So as you can see, we're in the cornfield right here, and we did not put grass hay between the cornfield or between the corn rows just because we just didn't. But I wanted to show you how we go about keeping our weeds down every day. Now, either Rob or myself are out here at least once a day with the hoe, with the Hoosier hoe, just running through the rows and getting down any weeds that we need to. And as you can see, if you look down, I mean, we don't have any grass hay, obviously no weed killers or anything, and there are very few weeds in here. The ones that are, we just want, you can see they're loose already. We just run through here and pull the weeds out. Now, if you look how, probably one of them, I'm gonna tout my product here. One of my favorite things about the Hoosier hoe is the shape of the head. And by the way, how do you like our red-headed hoe? Anyways, if you look, the head of this gets really close up to your plants without damaging them. So I'm just getting right up to that. Now with your typical hoe, you'd have a little difficult time there. But this works like a charm. We just come through here every morning, walk down the rows, pull the weeds out. It's easy money, all the way down. And again, guys, if you can get out early in the morning before you go to work or later in the afternoon after you get home, do it. You'll be out here a matter of an hour, depending on how big your garden is, and just get the weeds out and you'll be good to go. Plus, listen how peaceful it is out here. We got a busy day ahead of us. I've got martial arts class here in a couple minutes, so that's why I wanted to get here first. Again, we don't spend a ton of time out here just because I don't have time. I work a full-time job. We both teach martial arts classes, among other things. So just squeeze your time in, get out here. Keeps you from being out here for hours on the weekend just pulling weeds. So works for us. So look at that beautiful shot. We're gonna take a walk around the garden. I told Rob to be careful, make sure he doesn't trip. So we're inside the electric fence, obviously. And
yeah, I am getting a little age on me.
well, it's easy to fall. I have proof of that. So we're gonna squeeze through our hoop house here. We've got tomato plants in here if you want to look. Look, these tall plants here are sunflowers. Or I think Rob's videoing the pole beans. These are sunflowers just for fun. We got tomato plants climbing up a vine here. We got cucumbers that we're just letting crawl on the ground just to see. This is just kind of a extra space we didn't have anything to do with, so we just kind of put some stuff in here just to see what happened. This is not our main priority. This is just kind of extra gravy on top of the potatoes just to see what we get. So, but it looks pretty good. I'll stick this hoe down here. So come on out this way. Potatoes are doing great. You can see they're starting to dry up a little bit. We hope to leave these in the ground until September. You can see my squash plants everywhere. These are all volunteer squash plants. I didn't plant them. I think there's a couple pumpkins over there. We've got a little bit of everything. So, but everything's looking good. If you look down, you can see where our hose feeds through here to the sprinkler. Again, it's very tricky. You're just trying not to smash your plants. But if you come over to here, you can see where we spread all of our grass hay. And if you look between the rows, really there are not hardly any weeds. Now you'll see a few grass weeds coming up inside the plants, but I'm not particularly worried about those. They'll be fine. All the blooms are coming on the plants. If you look down here, everything looks great. Now it did sprinkle a little bit overnight. We obviously didn't have a full-fledged rain, but I think, you know, between the sprinkler and the little light sprinkling overnight, you can see it's a little bit. We've been watering like crazy. Squash plants are going everywhere. I'll just let them vine away. I'm not worried about them. So hey, I think the grass hay works great. We're pretty impressed with it. It's a little bit of work in the beginning because if you're doing it when it's hot, it's just hot. But if we didn't have this grass hay right here, this would be covered in weeds. And I don't need that. I don't have time for that. I wanted to go ahead and give you a little bit of here's our pole beans. Walk you right into the sprinkler there. If you watch your pole beans, like they're starting to obviously vine up, so you kind of got to check those on occasion and train them up your net. But they're looking really good. So tomatoes are looking good. I think they're loaded. They are loaded, so and they're all going to come on at one time. So we'll see. I think we're going to have quite a few. Hope to sell some as well. Looks good. You got to back out of this water a little bit. Back up a little bit there, Robert. Get me wet here. Do my do. Anyways, I wanted to talk to you just a second about editing. A lot of our fellow YouTubers out there put beautiful YouTubes out there where they edit all their mistakes out. They have music behind it playing. You know, they transition from one scene to another. Not this girl, because I don't have time. When we first started our YouTube channel, I worked on it some and I did the transitioning and I would cut out pieces, and I'm going to be honest with you, that is very cumbersome, hard work for me to do. And I admire all those YouTubers out there that do that. Good for you. Good for you. But I'm not going to do it. I don't have time to do it. I would rather spend my time out here working in my garden and doing all the other stuff that I have to do. So if you watch my videos and you see mistakes and see me say something goofy or whatever, or you've already seen it, but it's just going to happen. It's because I'm not editing. I'm not going to do it. I don't sit in front of a computer screen and do that because I do that all day for work, and that's the last thing I want to do on my spare time. So it's getting buggy out here already. It's going to be another hot one. So that it for today, Rob, I think. Got anything else? No? Okay. Quiet man back there. I'm going to sign off. I've got stuff to go do. And
Well, you need to talk about the pole beans. Look at the beautiful pole beans.
yeah, I mentioned them there.
Sure.
We've got pole beans on two different sides. You can see the netting over there on the other side of the hoop house. And then here as well. And where did we get this from?
Haas Tools.
Haas Tools.
She don't want to go buy the pole beans because she'll get her hair wet.
Yeah, I just got it fixed. It's a process.
See, look at it. She just got it fixed.
It's a
Look at that.
Quite.
That's beautiful.
It's a process. Anyways,
She doesn't like curly hair, but I kind of like it.
Okay. All right. And the more humid it gets, it's gonna get curlier. So anyways, our pole bean netting, the reason we got this net is because last year when we did this, we had to pull all of the vines off of everything that we had it climbing up, and it's a pain in the rear end. So this netting, once we pull the beans off here, pick the beans, we can just pull this off and we'll just toss it and throw it away. So it's working like a charm. Again, you can see all the vines coming up, so you do have to come out and train your pole beans, because they're getting a little heavy, so we're gonna have to wind them around just a little bit more. But it's looking good. And over on the hoop house, I don't know if you can see it from here, we've got the pole beans on the far side, but Rob put a twine going up to the top pole of the hoop house, hoping that those pole beans will climb up that twine and then end up hanging through the top of the roof. I think it'd be kind of neat if it happens. So we'll see what happens. So anyways, looks good. I'm gonna sign off for now. Remember, guys, work hard. Check out our website, HoosierHose.com, and we will talk to you later. Take care.